This is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Okwade, and this is Africa Now. After 39 days of searching, the bodies of 4 miners were discovered in a gold mine in Burkina Faso, according to a government spokesman. Last month, floodwaters trapped 8 miners hundreds of meters underground in the Canadian-owned Pepfar mine. The government expressed its condolences to the victims' families and the local communities in a statement issued Tuesday night. The search for the remaining 4 missing miners is ongoing. A subsidiary of the mining and commodities trading giant Glencore has pleaded guilty to 7 counts of bribery in a London court. The UK's Serious Fraud Office said it had exposed profit-driven bribery and corruption across Glencore Energy's UK oil operations in 5 African nations that include Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, and South Sudan. The company's agents and employees paid bribes worth over $25 million for preferential access to oil, with approval by the company between 2011 and 2016, the Serious Fraud Office said. The firm will find out how much it must pay in fines at the sentencing in June. Now away from mining matters. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has said that the bystander countries were suffering due to the sanctions against Russia and called for talks as the African Union prepared a mission to foster dialogue between Moscow and Kyiv. Ramaphosa spoke as German Chancellor Olaf Scholz visited South Africa on the final leg of a trip to the continent that aimed in part to rally diplomatic support for Ukraine. South Africa, that has close historical ties to Moscow due to the Soviet Union's support for the anti-apartheid struggle, abstained from a United Nations vote denouncing the invasion of Ukraine and has resisted calls to condemn Russia. Nigeria's anti-corruption agency has arrested a presidential aspirant of the ruling APC party just days to the party's presidential primaries. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) arrested Rochas Okorocha in the capital Abuja on allegations of corruption involving diversion of 2.9 billion naira of public funds and property. Reports indicate that there was a standoff for hours between some of Okorocha's supporters and EFCC operatives during the arrest at his residence. His supporters said the arrest is an attempt to frustrate his presidential admission. Today, May 25, the continent celebrates Africa Day, which marks the anniversary of the signing of the OAU agreements which evolved into the present-day African Union. On that day, May 25, 1963, leaders of 30 of the 32 independent African states signed the founding charter of the organization in Addis Ababa. This year's celebration is centered on nutrition, with the African Union's theme for this year 2022 saying, "Strengthening resilience in nutrition and food security on the African continent." Alongside the commemoration of the day is the extraordinary summit of the African Union, currently taking place in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea. This is your digital-first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now. More stories coming your way after the break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back on Health Matters. The new head of the U.S. President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, Dr. John Nkengasong, says HIV and AIDS remain a significant threat for Africa. The virologist from Cameroon, who has spent the last 2 years heading Africa's Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said there was a potential for a resurgence of HIV and AIDS in many parts of Africa. He said there was a risk that more recent outbreaks such as Ebola and coronavirus would undermine gains made in the fight against HIV and AIDS. African countries raised an objection on Tuesday to a U.S.-led proposal to reform the international health regulations, a move delegates say might prevent passage at the World Health Organization's annual assembly. The IHR sets out WHO members legally binding obligations around outbreaks. The United States has proposed 13 IHR reforms, which seek to authorize the deployment of expert teams to contamination sites and the creation of a new compliance committee to monitor implementation of the rules. The draft proposal, yet to be formally decided, aims to change Article 59 that will speed up the implementation for future reforms from 24 to 12 months. Now, Ethiopia's Tedros Ghebreyesus has been re-elected as the World Health Organization's head for a second 5-year term. The result of the secret vote was a formality since he was the only candidate. Opening the 75th World Health Assembly in Geneva, Dr. Tedros, who has led the global response to the COVID pandemic, said, "Coronavirus has turned the world upside down, leaving many still enduring suffering." Fighting back tears as he spoke, he also called for an end to war, which he said shakes and shatters the foundation on which previously stable societies stood. Now, Tanzania's first female president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, has been named among the 100 most influential people in the world by Time magazine. In her 1 year as president, Samia has appointed more women to her cabinet to lead prominent ministries. She has also held talks with opposition leader Freeman Mbowe 3 times. Time magazine noted that her leadership has been a tonic, adding that a door has opened for dialogue between political rivals. Steps have been taken to rebuild trust in the democratic system. Efforts have been made to increase press freedom, and women and girls have a new role model. Meanwhile, Ethiopia says it is outraged with the way the U.S. magazine Time depicted the country's leader when it announced the list of influential people of the year. Time magazine has included Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed in the list of 100 most influential people of 2022. Time said Abiy's peace treaty with Eritrea, and I quote, planted the seeds for an Ethiopian civil war, end of quote. It also stated that Abiy, together with Eritrea's leader, I quote, launched a military campaign against it. Tigray's People's Liberation Front leaders. It describes his depiction as a character assassination. It has requested the Time magazine to give an explanation. And that is it on Africa Now. For more updates, visit our website at www.TOSTVNetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Okwade. Thanks for watching.